morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to talk about 5 tips or 5 things to remember when disclosing your ADHD or ADD at work or in any kind of setting. And that applies to any type of mental health related issue that you want to disclose. So, I want to talk about 5 things to keep in mind when making disclosures. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of our wonderful world. If you're not yet subscribed, please take a moment and hit the subscribe button below so that you can subscribe and become a part of this wonderful world of ours. And remember to tick the bell so that you are notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, there's also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you all your different options for purchasing 1 or 3 of my books. Okay, let me get back to it. The first thing is to know that it is not mandatory to disclose if you're not comfortable. This is your personal health information. Like any other health information, you're not required to disclose that. People at work or people at school don't necessarily have a right to know, hey, this is what's happening with you. And sometimes people will feel pressured to disclose as a way to, as a way to help people understand or explain, certain behaviors that they may display, or certain things that people may have seen, or certain things that people make, certain comments that people may make. You don't necessarily have to disclose, your personal information just to get people to stop making certain comments. Hey, if people are making comments that are offensive, comments that are bothering you, things about your behavior, sometimes it may be more of an HR issue than disclosing your personal health information that you are not comfortable disclosing. But of course, if you're comfortable disclosing, or if you want to disclose, yes, by all means, you can disclose, but it's not mandatory. You don't have to. And sometimes people will disclose as a way to, because they need help with something, or they may need additional accommodations. So in those cases, if you're looking, you don't always have to disclose in order to get accommodations. And if it is at a level where, okay, there's something specific that is related to your ADHD or your mental health condition that may make that, where it's like an ACA type thing, ADA type thing, where then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe you may need to disclose to HR, you may need to disclose to a certain group or certain things like that, but it's usually not a mandatory thing that you disclose. So be aware of that so that you're not feeling pressured like you have to disclose when you're not ready. 2, remember that disclosure can feel very vulnerable, so be prepared for the emotions. Once you disclose the personal health information and people in the environment, whether it's at work or at school, start to know about it, sometimes it feels kind of naked. Like people see and know certain things about you that they didn't know before. So be mindful of that. Be aware that disclosure can be vulnerable. So make sure that you're putting resources in place to help you deal with the emotions that may come, to help you deal with that feeling of openness, not even openness, that vulnerability. Just to deal with that vulnerability. So make sure that you're prepared for the emotions and put resources in place to help you deal with the vulnerability that can come with disclosing your personal health information with someone or in a particular environment, work, school, or wherever. 3, determine the value that you want to bring from disclosure before you disclose. Sometimes you want to disclose because you want to bring awareness, and sometimes you want to disclose because you're looking to get assistance or accommodations made to help you, that will help you do the work or help you thrive in an environment. Whatever it is that you're looking to do, determine what value you are looking to bring, and then decide and see if this is the way to do it, because it may not be necessary that you disclose your personal health information in order to get certain accommodations. It may not be necessary to disclose a personal health information just because just to make someone feel comfortable just because someone said something. So make sure you know what value you want to bring, because disclosing personal health information is vulnerable. It feels naked. That's the best way I could explain it. It feels naked. So make sure that you know, okay, what am I looking to achieve by doing this? If your goal is to bring awareness, yes, you disclose and you're looking to bring awareness and that happens, great. But if you're looking for accommodation and then you disclose and all that comes out of it is awareness, yes, that's great too, but it doesn't get you what you're looking at. So make sure that what you're looking for is what you're going to get. And that's the way to get it when you disclose. 4, be mindful of who you share your personal information to. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't unsay words. Once it's out there, once you've put the words out there, once you've shared, you can't unshare. So be very mindful of who you are sharing your personal health information with. Sometimes again, for awareness, yes. If your goal is awareness, yes, share that information. But sometimes people will share information with a particular person because, you know what, I just want one person to know what's going on. But in that case, you have to be very careful how or whom you share that with, because you don't get to control what people do with information that has been shared with them, especially when it's not people in a leadership position or in a position where they have rules or guidelines or laws that dictate what they can do with information that you share with them. So be careful with that, because you don't want to share something with one person thinking, yeah, I'm having a confidential, private and conversation with my work friend, and next thing you know, everybody in the company or everybody on the floor knows with the information that you just shared. 5, learn the rules in where you live. That includes HIPAA as well as ADA related rules, because as you disclose personal health information, sometimes there may be things that you're accommodations that you're entitled to, or there may be rules that guide how the company deals with certain information that you share with them. So make sure you understand the rules, because you may decide, okay, I'm just going to disclose this to HR. And then you realize that, there are rules that says I can share this if, like, the HR director has to maintain confidentiality, but the benefits coordinator does not have the same regulations, or the HR has to maintain confidentiality, but sharing it with my shift supervisor does not. So make sure you understand the rules where you live to know what protections are available, as well as what limitations are available. And especially when you are disclosing personal health information, you want to make sure that there are rules to protect you from any type of adverse actions, because there are a lot of really nice, really amazing people around, and there are some really some idiots around. So you want to know what rules are around to protect you from the idiots of the world. So quick recap. 1, know that it is not mandatory to disclose if you're not comfortable, especially if you're looking for accommodations. Sometimes you can get the accommodations without having to disclose. 2, disclosure can feel very vulnerable, so be prepared for the emotions that come with it. Be prepared to deal with the emotions that come with that vulnerability. 3, determine the value that you're looking to bring by disclosing, because sometimes what we think that we want or what we hope to achieve by disclosing is not necessarily what comes out of it. So make sure you understand what it is that you're looking to achieve, so that you can decide if disclosure is the way to go. 4, be mindful of whom you share your personal information with, because not everyone is bound by the same rules. And sometimes and confidentiality, you can't control information. You can't control what someone will do with information that you have given them. So be mindful of who you give your information to. And finally, learn the rules where you live, HIPAA, ADA, and any other related rules that may apply in the area where you live, because Yes, there are some things that ADA will protect you from. There are things that are protected by HIPAA. There are things that are protected by one of the many other alphabet soup laws and legislation that exist. Yeah, so just make sure you know the rules so that you're protected from any type of incidents or adverse responses to your disclosure, adverse actions to your disclosure. So make sure that you know where you are and what you're dealing with. Again, if you want to disclose, yes, I like when people share information, but it's not your responsibility to educate the world. You don't have to put yourself and your personal business out there just because people out there have not taken the time to learn and understand what mental health is. And yeah. So yes, if you want to disclose, you want to disclose. It is your right. It is your privilege. You can choose to do that, but you don't have to do it. That's what I want people to know. You can, but you don't have to. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals out there like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.